riffs are too repetitive, the lyrics make no sense. All the songs are B-sides and the cover art's a mess. There's so much here to tear apart. Listen to it for a week, now that week has passed. It's Why I Hate This Album podcast with Tim and Garrett.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Why I Hate This Album. I am one of your hosts, Garrett Harvey. With me as always, co-host extraordinaire, Martin Short, to my Steve Martin, Timothy Richardson. Tim, how you doing, buddy?
A little sad, actually, this week.
Okay, I thought you were going to come in hot and peppy today.
Yeah.
What's got you down, Timmy?
I feel like we have fallen so far, Garrett.
On what metric? I'm not disagreeing, but let's be specific. How are we slowly devolving?
We promised 4 years ago that we would never use the word Hoobastank on this show.
God, did we?
I did.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I made that promise with Brad. The point is, I don't want to do Hoobastank, Garrett.
Tim, I think this was your choice.
Oh, shit, it was. God damn it. God damn it.
Yeah, as I recall, you demanded that we put down the stank.
Demand's a bit hard.
Hooba style.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, we all do. Anyway, Timmy, what song have we been listening to for an entire week this week?
We have been listening to their hit single, The Reason, released January 26th, 2004. This was suggested by Led Astray on Twitter. Led Astray? I don't know. And maybe Noah Z, Noah_Z_ on Instagram. The band's name is Hoobastank. God damn it.
I'm really hoping that you get to the bottom of how they became Hoobastank in the history, but let's not jump ahead. The suspense is killing me. Timmy, after an entire week with the Stank and Their Reason, I'm curious, do you hate this song?
Yes.
Oh, hot and fresh out the oven.
Yep.
Wow, unequivocal.
Nope. This is mediocrity at its finest.
Ouch.
And I do not care for it. What about you, friend? Do you hate this song?
Feel a little uncomfortable now.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask it this way. Do you hate this song, or does this song express a certain truth about you?
Whoa.
And your mediocrity?
No, what?
Oh, sorry, but you know.
You're crossing a lot of lines here, Tim. No, let me say not yet.
Okay, we'll listen to it one more time and then we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's a lot of opportunity to get there this week, and I always invite the chance. But I want to remind you, because I feel like lately you've become a real negative Nancy, quick with the hate draw. And I want to remind you, Tim, just what is hate-worthy? Do you really hate Hoobastank, The Reason?
Yeah.
Okay, I kind of feel like I walked into that. But I'm not looking to change your mind at all. I just want to make sure we're properly calibrated to the same level of hate. And it sounds like we are. You're just ready to get there much sooner. Before we talk about why you hate it and how you hate it and maybe even who you hate it, I'm curious, Tim, what is your history with the Stank? Had you ever heard The Reason before?
Of course I had, Garrett. I was in cars with radio at approximately the time that this came out, so like everyone on Earth, I've heard it a lot of times. This was always something I tried to avoid, though. This was one of those songs that I was always curious as to why no one changed the radio when this came on. This
fair.
Yeah, this is radio mediocrity personified. Garrett, have you heard this song before?
Oh, of course, Tim. Same reason, up and down. Don't want to delay the episode by repeating everything you just said, but one thing that I'm going to admit here in front of you and the audience and the viewers, not sure if they're viewers, find the feed. I gotta say, when this came on the radio, I, much like many of the other passengers in your car, didn't necessarily change it every time.
Okay.
And I'm coming from a very vulnerable place here, so I wish you wouldn't look at me like that, but there's something going on, maybe.
No. This is one of those songs that's designed to be so center of the road as to get that reaction from the, I don't know, proles, from the Bugmen, if you will. So, you know what? I get it. I understand why you like this. Garrett Harvey, the archetypical Bugman. Yeah.
What's a prole?
Proletariat?
Those are the same as Bugmen?
No. These are two different groups of people I suspect might like this song.
Oh, okay.
And you are both.
Well, keep me out of your internet culture.
It comes to us.
Yeah, sadly, we invite it. But Tim, I gotta say, I want to clarify real quick. Let's back up. I don't like this song. I'm just not ready to hate it yet. Greatly dislike it. Maybe I skimmed over that part too quickly because you seem to have the wrong impression. I'm just merely pointing out that I was complicit in, what did this come out, 2007? Something like that?
Four. Three,
all
actually.
the same. Okay. 2003, yeah, we're firmly still in radio days. For whatever reason, 25% of the time, I might not have changed that channel. What's going on? Listeners, write in heypodmail@gmail.com. Were we all part of a massive brainwashing experiment by the government or aliens using Hoobastank? I don't know. I don't think so, but maybe.
Or maybe by the scientists and interns at Hoobastank Industries.
Hoobastank Industries. Interesting. Hoobastank Laboratories. Entirely possible. What do they make at Hoobastank Industries, Tim? Just research?
Yeah, I think it's like our labs. You know, there's some neuroscience research. There's some oncology research. They look into music. They're trying to win their Patriarch a Genius grant for analyzing music. You know, the usual.
Typical podcast stuff. Well, that's my history. That's your history. But as always, it is very important that we understand how the music we're listening to came to be. So Tim, take us on a journey, hopefully a brief one. Help us understand who is Hoobastank and how did the reason come to be?
Well, Gary, usually I try to just waste everyone's time in this section talking about things that really, you know,
who could care?
Mostly just to annoy you. But this week, again, we're talking about Hoobastank, so I'm going to move as quickly as possible because, like you said, who could care?
True.
The band was formed around the LA area in '94 when Doug Robb, who kind of looks like a slightly Asian version of Mac from It's Always Sunny.
Interesting, okay.
On vocals, and Dan Estrin on guitar after they competed against each other in a high school battle of the bands type thing. They got Marku Lapalalian on bass and Chris Hesse on drums, and they were off. In an interview about why on earth they would name themselves Hoobastank, drummer and toy poodle enthusiast and owner Chris told the Orlando, Florida Guide, Doug's brother is the president of BMW Motorcycles and lives in Germany. And there's this street out by his house that's called Hooba Street, or something like that, and before Doug could pronounce the name, he called it Hoobastank, and it was kind of a cute thing, and his brother still teases him about it to this day. When we were looking for band names, it's almost impossible to find a band name that hasn't been taken. Anything remotely normal has been taken already. I don't remember how it came up, but someone said it and we were like, yeah. No, I'm not sure that I completely believe this though. I am more a fan of the theories that either they are named after Jesus Hoobastank Christ, or possibly that they came up with the dumbest possible word that they could think of to get a radio DJ to say because they were 17, and then it turned into one of those situations where you want to be taken seriously as you apply to be an accountant for a Fortune 500 company, but the only email address you've set up for yourself is pussyslayer69@gmail.com because that was hilarious in high school, but then you have to put that on your CV. You don't get the job. You live in your parents' house for 2 years, and then you move in with your much older friend that your mom warned was a bad influence and would take advantage of how much funnier you are to boost himself into the upper echelons of the comedy and music podcasting rankings, despite not being all that funny if you really just take into consideration what he is bringing to the table on his own. And soon your small apartment is filled with interns and Becks. You have to fire Lena Dunham. That was a whole mess that could have been avoided, you know. And this whole thing, again, just use your name as your email address instead of pussyslayer69, which, if we're being honest, it wasn't even remotely accurate in the first place. Who was I trying to fool, Garrett?
I don't know. You were in 8th grade. You were not slaying any pussy.
Yeah.
I hope you were.
Yeah. Anyway, Hoobastank started playing shows with Incubus around kind of the LA area. They self-released a weird album they called They Sure Don't Make Basketball Shorts Like They Used To in 1998, featuring a bunch of those short basketball shorts that you like so much, Gary. And notably, this album was spelled Hoobastank with a U, and it contained a bunch of rap and a ton of saxophone.
I'm sorry.
A lot of saxophone. There's also...
This is their first album?
There was also a prank call to McDonald's as a hidden track. Some of the songs are from a live special hosted by Thomas Francis Wilson Jr., better known as Biff Tannen from Back to the Future. It is a weird debut album. Yeah.
I love that guy.
Yeah, you do.
But I'm going to be honest, Tim. I'm trying to pay attention to the history this week because you said it was going to be short, and I want to give you the benefit of the doubt. I am lost.
Yeah.
There's saxophones. Biff's there.
Yeah.
Is this just the first album? What's happening?
Yeah, we'll move very quickly through the rest. I just thought that was interesting because it could not be more different than what they... It's funk metal, Garrett. They started out as funk metal. They signed to Island Records in 2000, released a self-titled album in 2001. It did well and got their songs featured in video games, The Scorpion King, that 2003 Daredevil film. And then in 2003, the album The Reason was released. The title track was released as their second single in 2004. That's the song of the week, obviously. It did well, and they got to be the opener for Linkin Park. Then they co-headlined a tour with Velvet Revolver. 2006, they released Every Man for Himself, which did significantly less good. Then in 2009, they released an album called For Never. You get it? Instead of forever, it's for never.
Ugh, we should get you that tattoo, Tim. For how much money would it cost to get For Never tattooed somewhere on your body? $1,000. I'll give you $1,000 to tattoo For Never on your body.
Oh, it's so tempting.
Yeah, anywhere. It doesn't even have to be anywhere people will see it.
Okay.
I want to know it's there.
Oh, yeah, you do. Yeah, you'd like to know where all my tattoos are.
Tim, I'm going to need an answer on that $1,000 offer.
Not for $1,000.
It's going.
Not for
$1,500 cash. It's in the other room.
Okay, at the end of the episode, show me the cash, and probably.
Yeah, listeners,
hold on,
did Tim get that tattoo?
Hold on. I get $1,500. Are you also paying for that tattoo?
Yeah. That's
right. Yeah, I'm in.
I'm going to cheap out on the tattoo, to be fair. If they'll let me do it, that's what's happening.
Because I was going to cheap out on it too.
No, fair enough. Continue.
Yes. The same year, they also released Greatest Hits, Don't Touch My Mustache. That was mostly released just in Japan. Apparently, the Japanese phrase for you're welcome is similar to Don't Touch My Mustache. That may or may not be true. Japanese listeners, write in. Also, in 2009, they were the opener for Creed, and they did a cover of and music video for the Ghostbusters theme. They released an acoustic Japanese-only album, Is This the Day, in 2010. Then Fight or Flight on... fittingly, on September 11th, 2012, to commemorate that. Then Push Pull in 2008, and that's the end of Hoobastank.
It was not to commemorate, to be clear.
To honor?
What's the deal with the Japanese only? Is it a Japanese language album?
No. It's just
Japanese release.
It's less creepy than the Alistair and the Weezer.
I thought we were definitely Alistair.
Oh yeah, the lead singer of Alistair did a collabo album with Rivers Cuomo in Japanese.
Oh, right. You're right. I'm sorry. I forgot my Weezer history. Great history, Tim, and by that I do mean short. But honestly, I was shocked and enthralled to learn that Hoobastank has more than one song, let alone multiple albums. Good for them.
They have that song Crawling in the Dark, Garrett. You know that song.
Nope, I don't.
Okay.
I don't. I know the reason.
Well, Garrett, gotta play Crawling in the Dark.
Great. That brings us to the song itself, and before we're even going to say a word about it, let's take a listen. So folks, here it is. In case somehow you've never heard it, here's a quick taste of Hoobastank's The Reason.
This band feels like it might secretly be a Christian band.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they have that Creed-esque thing to them where the guy's definitely striking a bunch of Jesus Christ poses. It's not a Christian band.
Well, it's worth saying, and I don't disagree, it is definitely that kind of, that subtle diet Christ sort of a thing where we're not a Christian band. We just, we respect his teachings and follow his faith.
Yeah. It's the Joel Osteen of bands.
Oh, Christ. That guy. Man, you and I occasionally from time to time pose the question, if Satan does walk among us, who is he and what does she look like? Joel Osteen is still my number one pick.
Yeah.
Nobody smiles that fake on purpose. Anyway, back to this song, Tim. That baby was a beast, and we need to get into it. It is angsty.
It is. It's whiny. It's sadgasmy.
Wait a minute. Was that term sadgasmy? As in to say that this song is one long sadgasm?
Yes. He is getting off on being sad.
Ooh, thank you for clarifying, because I was wondering, is a sadgasm, as you just said, achieving an orgasm through the use of sadness, or achieving a explosive moment of sadness so great and unequaled by normal sadness as to be likened to a climax or orgasm? Yes.
Whoa, so sorry. It's first one then the other. You're getting off on how sad you are, and that only builds more sadness, which then it's a vicious cycle. It
Absolutely.
might be
Snowball
more,
effect.
This song, though, might be more akin to sad edging, though, I think. I don't know if he ever
getting
gets
just
there.
now, are you getting to the edge of sadness or the edge of the more traditional sense? Yeah, cheers.
Both, Garrett.
Oh, right, because as one comes the other, literally, pun intended.
You're saying for them, not as a general rule.
No, these people are disgusting. I don't know who's getting off on sadness, but seek professional help. A little talk therapy, maybe a couple of pills twice a day. I don't know. I'm not a doctor anymore.
Well, that's not true. That's not true. You're not licensed, but they can't take that MD or PhD away from you.
That's true. I keep it locked in a jar in a fridge.
Yes. It's
In
a
the
piece
subway.
of paper that you can... Guy, you know what? That's a good movie. I don't know if we say that enough. That's just a good movie.
Jelly cocaine.
Bobby
Reservation
Chicago.
for me and my friend Bobby Chicago.
Yes. So I think
Typical guys.
I think this song could have used a little bit of saxophone, ironically.
Let's see here. Yeah, it can't hurt. If properly used, Tim, saxophone is an excellent tool in a song now. I could see it working here. I can't imagine them employing it properly.
Well, we haven't heard that first album until next week.
I hope that's untrue. I don't need more of the stank.
Yes.
See.
It's musically, this is fine. It sounds like your typical post-grunge, Creed-adjacent Christian music. It's very bland. It's very nondescript. It feels like it was designed for the radio, for mass appeal. Mm-hmm. And kind of, as you have found, for someone to say they can't really hate it, or at least they can't articulate why they hate it.
Yeah.
Because it's so nondescript that, like, what do you hate about it? And there's nothing, there's no Fred Durstisms. There's no J-deviling in here. There's no de-ant wording. So, it's hard to pinpoint exactly what about it you hate, but you listen to the song, and when that song stops, you're like, I hated that.
Yeah, you're not happy. You're definitely left angrier than you began.
Sure.
And maybe it's because you don't know where to put that anger. This is why you feel hate-filled, and that's appropriate. I'm not going to rob you of that hate. It's not my job.
It's like, how they're having a sadgasm. I'm having I'm hate edging. Hedging. I'm hedging.
It's probably not like you're having like an anger sneeze.
Yes.
Because it's not like a full gasm, but it's close, but it's all channeled towards Hoobastank.
Sure. The other thing is that how generic this song sounds. In 2003, like every third song on the radio was this song.
Oh yeah. I mean, I got kind of a Three Doors Down, maybe even some Offspring, Our Lady Peace. I might be wrong on that last one.
All of those
but it came
except
to mind.
for Offspring.
Oh, see, I think you need to expand your mind in the Offspring. Also, this song is a one-off, Tim. Most of their music is not this whiny. It's a lot more it's at least a lot more fast-paced.
Yeah, it's more post-grunge, new metal adjacent. I mean, it's alterna metal. It's bad.
Oh, I thought it was much closer to pop punk than
No, I don't think so. Well, you know what? We'll never find out. It doesn't fucking matter.
Never gonna know.
Who cares?
I don't know
maybe
why.
season
7.
Oh, we're still on season 1, man.
I know. How long are these seasons? Gino, call it season 2, man. We should never have put him in charge of that or our finances.
Anyway, let's listen to this apologetic song again.
No, we can't do that. We can do it after the show. I think we need to get into the lyrics.
All right, would you sing them for us?
Of course I will sing every line of this song. I'm not a perfect person. There's many things I wish I didn't do, but I continue learning. All right, I just wanted to hit the learning.
The way you sing it, it is 100% pop punk, which is weird.
That's how I hear it.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, but I feel like just maybe it's if you isolate the vocals, they sound a lot more like they should be in a pop punk song.
Yeah, and to be fair, I barely listened to anything that wasn't this week. Other Hoobastank songs, so I could be 100% wrong. I don't stand by any of my opinions because I don't care.
Yeah, I also don't stand by any of my opinions, to be clear. Don't sue me.
I don't think we need to worry about that. But just in case, allegedly.
I'm not a perfect person.
Yeah.
There's many things I wish I didn't do, but I continue learning. I never meant to say those things to you, and so I have to say before I go that I just want you to know.
Pause.
Yes.
All right. So we've got a person. I choose to think it's a man because of the rest of the song.
It's a boyish man, but yes.
Oh, yeah. But these are not the actions, words, or insinuations, implications of a woman.
Absolutely.
In my experience.
Yes, I agree completely. Because, so there is a question here, how sinister is this situation?
Well, I think we let the facts bear out here, Tim. We make no assumptions yet.
Okay. It does come off like listen, I'm not a perfect person. Sure, yeah. I killed your cat, left it in your freezer. That was an accident, but still, not great. I had sex with your sister. Again, accident. Thought it was you. I greedily consumed the entire stash of heroin while you were in the shower. But you're not perfect either, man. You often take longer than I would like to get ready.
Yeah. So we both have things that we need to work on. Yes, I ate the top of your parents' wedding cake that I found in the freezer. How was I to know? Why? Who keeps a cake that old? 40 years. It was terrible, by the way. Yeah. So it could be something that petty, Tim. And I really want to stay. I hope that the song stays that lighthearted. We're eating wedding cakes. We're taking long showers. You did say he was taking the entire heroin stash. So that's not so light.
Or
but that's
whatever. All the Doritos, we'll say. He ate the entire bag of Doritos. Yes.
Same difference. But the point is, up to this moment, he says, listen, I admit it. I'm owning my failures. You're right. I have not done everything right. But there's one thing I need you to know before I leave.
Sure. Well, one other thing here. The phrasing is a bit odd because he doesn't say there's many things I wish I hadn't done. He says there's many things I wish I didn't do, which could be interpreted as not in the past tense. Like he's going to keep doing them.
Yes, I see what you mean. And that is another one of my questions. God damn, that's a great catch because there's more in this song that points to the fact that he is sad that he does these things, but he's not going to stop. He's not going to stop. He can't stop. Tim won't stop Tim. But I didn't realize it was
oftentimes apologizing completely absolves. This is what's so great about Christianity, Garrett, because you can just say I'm sorry and keep on murdering hookers. As long as you say I'm sorry to Jesus Christ himself through prayer and absolution, possibly to a priest. I don't know. The point is, you should know. After the hooker and before you yourself die. And, of course, obviously, you're wearing the appropriate shoes. You're going to heaven. You could kill 1,000 hookers.
Now, Tim, if you do not seek absolution either from Christ or, let's say, confession through a priest, but you've got a real swinging pair of shoes on, you getting by St. Peter?
Well, that's why it's so important to have those shoes on because, yeah, you can sneak by. And oftentimes, if you're out there killing hookers, sometimes hooker kills you.
That's a fantastic point. Never even thought of that. It shows my male-centric ego.
I was hoping you were going to say innocence.
No, I just assume that when a man sets out to kill some hookers, it's a one-sided fight. But that's not true. A lot of those women are well-suited to defend themselves and expect to be assaulted.
A lot of those women are men. You hear hooker, you think lady. Not all of us don't. Not all of us do.
That's a good point. Takes all kinds. Anyway, back to the song, I guess. We may have still been on it. Unclear. It continues. And so I have to say before I go that I just want you to know I've found a reason for me to change who I used to be, a reason to start anew. And Tim, at this point, this is all very positive. He's owning his mistakes. He's letting her know that I know I haven't always done well in the past, but I have found a reason to turn things around, start anew, become a new person, and right the wrongs. All good news, right?
Yeah, it's all stuff you want to hear from a guy who's killed your cat and done all the heroin.
Right. Eating the cake.
Sure.
Mine was good too. Fuck off, man.
Yeah.
But the next line, Tim, you find out what that reason is. And it is a bombshell. Bombshell! And the reason is you. Well, shit. Anybody listening knows that the best reason to change who you are fundamentally from the deep down inside who you are is always going to be for another person. Don't be you, be who they want you to be. That always works out great, right, Tim?
Absolutely. Here's the way this actually does work out great, because a lot of times, Garrett, I've found that women to change me, to, say,
I'll bet they do.
I don't want you to hang out with the cowboys as much, maybe stop doing all the OxyContin while I'm in the bathroom, stop eating so much cake, wedding or otherwise. There's a lot of things about a person, Stop getting tattoos because your buddy gives you $1,500. There's a lot of things that, a guy will do that, sometimes you get in a new relationship and maybe it seems weird.
It's all about compromises, Tim. Communication and compromises.
Well, here's what I found, though, is that those people that want you to change, they also crave credit for that change. So if you just tell them, hey, I've changed because of you, you don't really have to change. Because they'll be like, in my mind, he's better because obviously I'm pretty great. So, sure, he's still eating that cake, but...
It's going to have to be secret cake, though.
No. See, that's the thing. She'll assume because, of course, she's so great that she must have changed you that you're like cutting back on the cake. So if she just sees you with at less regularity, you're all good.
These are hauntingly similar to behaviors I've noticed on the hit television series Intervention.
I was hoping you were going to say Ted Lasso.
Nope. Nothing about you is heartwarming. God damn, dude. Well, certainly not in that story. You are manipulating
sorry,
so that you can continue with self-destructive behavior. I'm proud as shit of you, but it is not healthy.
Garrett, this isn't... I should have said me at one.
I agree. You should not have. But here we are.
Fair enough.
Anyway.
All right.
Song continues. I don't know if we can, but the song continues. I'm sorry that I hurt you. It's something I must live with every day.
Hold on, let's stop.
We've seen this before.
Jesus Christ.
Awesome.
Yeah, this is I'm sorry I struck you with my car because we had an argument.
Sure. But hey, I have to deal with that fact every day. You just have a shattered pelvis.
Yeah.
You can't fix my guilt.
Exactly.
You can get a new pelvis.
That's true. Medically, that's true. Switch them out.
Not new. You're going to stitch it back together with titanium. But
it's like those the small G.I. Joes, the 3.5 inches.
Oh, it is exactly like that.
Yeah. Switch out those switch out those pelves.
Man, pop in a new socket and away you go with Kung Fu grip and all. Anyway, I'm sorry that I hurt you. I'll do the whole fucking thing.
Who was the guy? Plain White Tees.
Hey there, Delilah. Yeah.
This is the same song.
Yeah, that one's more fun, to be honest.
Yeah.
Anyway, so again, he's sorry that he hurt her, but listen, that's not nearly as bad as having to think about the fact that he hurt her, and hey, who can't agree with that? But the song continues, and all the pain I put you through, I wish that I could take it all away and be the one who catches all your tears. That's why I need you to hear. Tim, what do you think he did?
I mean, I gave some pretty good examples, I think.
Sure. Okay, no, that's fair. You did.
I feel like when I was listening to this song, do you remember the hit show Review on Comedy Central featuring
of course I do.
Andy Daly? I assume that he's murdered his wife's father in space by accident. And, and just after a series of unforgivable things that they've done on that show, watch that show, by the way, people. That's a great show. But after doing all of the horrible things that he does in that show, this.
That's a good point. God, that's funny. Or possibly, I think you should leave now. That's very similar style.
Yeah.
I got to thinking, Tim, here's a slightly lighter hypothesis. And I will say, bit of a spoiler alert here for the music video. But unfortunately, at some point, I had to watch it. And it did begin to influence my thoughts while I listened to this song. What if he is addicted to elaborate heists, but they are needlessly complicated for simple tasks? Think like Rube Goldberg level schemes that end with him just like getting free milk at the store. But to do it, he had to like steal a car, 4 costume changes, and somehow Julia Roberts had to get there.
I love this. You could even do it for non-illegal things. You cut a hole in your ceiling and Mission Impossible your way down to get the flour every day.
Yeah, but the thing of it is, like, you don't lower yourself. You somehow trick the mailman into doing it.
Oh, sure. Yeah, but the point is there's a hole in that ceiling.
Because as we'll point out in the music video here in just a moment, it is heist-centric with this band. So that did begin to invade my thoughts because the alternative did seem to be, various cake eatings or heroin abuse or the horrible, horrible things you've proposed thus far. What if, also, Tim, because I do like to throw a few theories around, I also got thinking, okay, we've put forward a few times that when somebody might be interested in the dark arts, they might be some sort of murderer, some sort of serial killer. But what if this is a different kind of serial killer? killer. She doesn't necessarily have an issue. Hey, he was a serial killer when they met. She's not looking to change him. But what she's got a problem with is that he's like very sloppy about it. Like he's leaving his weapons around the house. He doesn't clean up his corpses. He's made her an accomplice repeatedly. Like she can't go get her nails done because she's got to go help him like dismember a corpse.
Yeah. He wants to trick her into thinking he's still in bed so he can go downstairs and eat toast. So he sticks a corpse in bed next to her. Yeah, I get it.
It's basically King of Queens, but instead of one of them working for UPS, he's a murderer.
Do you know there's an episode of King of Queens where Patton Oswalt stands entirely still in the living room as the scene happens around him and just refuses to do any of his lines or move or blink? And that made it onto television because who could care?
Why did he do that?
For the fun of it. He was bored on set. Wanted to see if he could just stand there motionless and if anyone would notice.
Jesus Christ.
They did not.
Wow.
Sorry, I'm a bit of a queen head. No, that can't be what it's called.
That's gotta be it. In case she wasn't crying yet, when we get to the bridge, that's where he just angstily repeats moaningly. Well, you put it well. What was it, a whalegasm? Sadgasm. He sadgasms, and the reason is you 3 times in a row, which seems like the sort of thing you would do covered in blood or possibly standing outside of a locked house in the rain.
Yes, also covered in blood, but hopped up on all that OxyContin that you did while she was in the shower.
Or methamphetamine, whatever your drug of choice is. Tim seems to be OxyContin. Learning things about Tim. Then we get back to the first verse and the chorus again, Tim, and we only have one more set of lines that are new before the song ends.
Yep.
He says, I found a reason to show, a side of me you didn't know, a reason for all that I do, and the reason is you. Maybe he's not changing what he's doing, Tim. This whole song, we've been thinking he's going to make a change. He's going to turn over a new leaf. That's not the case. He's bringing her into his destructive world. If you can't change, just make the other person like the horribly destructive thing you're already doing.
Well, it's really romantic to bring somebody, to introduce them to your family, to bring them into your friends, really make them, show them that they are a part of your life that's important, that you want to, introduce to the other parts of your life. And sure, some of those other parts may be horrible and violent. It happens.
Everyone, okay. You think it's romantic?
Yeah, it's like you have a new love. You want to bring her into your life. Sure. Garrett, you're showing her that...
Your knives and your corpses.
Yeah, exactly. Well, not necessarily that. I was going to say, let her meet your mom. Not your mom, but a mom. Right. A hypothetical mother. Some sort of actress.
This is Tim's mom.
She's a sweet
She makes
lady.
me cookies. We've never spoken.
Yeah.
I love her so much. That brings us to the music video, Tim, and I gotta say, I was not expecting what we get.
No, I like it quite a bit, especially compared to this song. 807 million people liked it too.
Jesus Christ.
Or at least watched it. I was like 7 of those people though, because I watched it a bunch of times.
Yeah, as you should. For once, the music video is actual narrative. It's not somebody standing in a light box singing at a camera. We start with a woman staring at a man from across the street. She goes to cross that street to meet that man, but unfortunately she is struck by a car driven by the lead singer of the band. Yes, we should mention everybody in the music video is a member of the band.
Yeah, I believe the man she was walking across the street to meet the guitarist. I don't know.
Seems right.
Yeah.
And now, Tim, you said that the lead singer looked like what again?
A slightly Asian version of Mac from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh, I like that. That's very good. I went with a young John Cusack mixed with John Cho.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, basically.
Describing the same thing. Yeah. Anyway, so the lady gets hit by a car driven by the singer, and he sings at the crowd of people that gather around the alleged corpse.
Sure. They're singing throughout. That's to be assumed, but the guy that she was staring at to go meet uses this opportunity to run into the pawn shop that he was standing in front of when the owner runs out to see what the hubbub's about.
Absolutely, as one does. Even if you're not baiting somebody into getting hit by a car, if you see somebody get hit by a car, use that opportunity to steal.
Oh, sure. People will not remember what happened. Well, they'll remember that lady getting hit by a car, but they will not remember you carrying out a 65-inch Samsung TV. I guarantee it.
Yes. Or a Star Ruby, whichever.
Sure. Very specific. We'll get there. So we, of course, cut to the band playing in a very non-specific location that I thought might be an abandoned hotel lobby. Unclear. But they start to show the band. They cut back and forth now with the band planning this heist, complete with overhead projector, something I hadn't seen in 25 years.
Oh, yeah. This was 2003, though.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I assume that was still very much in play. But then we cut back to the pawn shop where the gentleman who ran in immediately went to the back, cut the security system, let in his accomplice or bass player, who, as luck would have it, is cracking safes.
Yeah.
So what this has to do with the song, like based on the words, unless this man is addicted to heists, as Tim and I proposed, I don't know.
Well, sure. So, but, once they get the vault open, they find the Charis Star Ruby or whatever, which I guess is what they're after. The girl who was hit by a car gets up and is fine and gets on a motorcycle and drives off. So obviously it's all an act. Now,
well, Tim, did you notice that when they steal the Kiara Star Ruby number 2, that they also steal some musical instruments, the same very instruments being played intermittently in the abandoned mansion or a hotel foyer? Well,
while you're in the... Okay. Well, while you're in the pawn shop, you may as well.
Sure. Well, especially if you want to be a successful Hoobastank.
Yes. But I feel like this sort of undercuts any point to the actual song, right? Like, he didn't find a reason to change for this lady. Like, as we were saying, he just sort of brought her into his mess.
Yeah, he made her an accomplice.
Yes.
A confidence woman, if you will, Tim.
So it's possible because at the end of the music video, we hear sirens approaching.
Well, allegedly, there's another music video for a different song by The Stank that is a continuation of this tale, and I don't think it ends great.
Well, we'll never know.
This is the musical equivalent of Reservoir Dogs. You're gonna be okay. Anyway, that does take us all the way through the music video. Tim, how did this thing do?
Well, this is the best a Hoobastank song ever did. It did pretty well. It hit number 2 on the US Billboard Hot 100. It was second only to Usher's Burn and hit number 1 in Italy. It hit number 7 in Australia, number 5 in Austria, number 2 in Czech, number 20 on the Denmarkian Tracklisten, number 15 in the Germans, number 8 in Greece, number 20 in Hungary, number 35 in Ireland, number 5 in New Zealand, number 9 on the Norwegian VG Lista, number 6 in Scotland, number 8 on the Swedish Sverigetopp-listen, number 6 on the Swiss Schweizer Hit Parade, number 12 in the UK, number 7 in the Walloon region of Belgium, sometimes referred to simply as Wallonia, and of course, number 9 inside of at least one Dutchman. Oddly, it also hit number 25 on the US Billboard Hot Rock and Alternative Song chart in 2021. It was nominated for 2 Grammy Awards, Song of the Year, and Best Pop Performance by a Duo or Group with Vocals. It sold over 4 million copies in the US alone. This Hoobastank song, is quadruple platinum. Part of the success for the song might have been due to it being featured in the series finale of Friends.
Oh, that probably did help.
Yeah.
God, Tim, I wish we could have gotten that gig, but Texas Toast wasn't a thing then.
Yeah, or the podcast. I could have them listening to some of the show. We should see if
could this be any funnier? I assume he wasn't still doing that 10 years later. I checked out early. Anyway, great stuff. What did people think of it?
Well, Gary, there are 246 reviews on Amazon, 4.8 out of 5 stars on average, 85% 5-star, 1% 1-star. The first, by Luck, from 2012, is entitled Love This Song. What else can I say? This is a great song. Can't say that I like a lot from this artist. Their music may be fine, just not my preference. But this song strikes a deep chord and conjures up memories of the Lord, friends, family, and even loved animals who make you want to be a better person. 5 out of 5 stars. Now, this person, Mr. Luck, similar to his memories of his friends, family, and even loved animals, he has memories of the Lord.
Memories of the Lord, yeah. That time he and the Lord got a sandwich at Arby's. Listen, somebody's fooling this gentleman and probably stealing money from him, posing as Jesus Christ.
Oh, you know what we should do?
Definitely pose as Jesus Christ or Christ-like figures and collect money from rubes.
Yes.
Tim, I want a heist.
Well, it sounds like you're going to just start a cult, which is sort of like a heist on like a personal level.
I want to be a confidence man, Tim.
Yeah.
I could have a cult. I could have a heist.
Okay.
What I really want is heist camp, but I don't have the capital.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Listeners, write in. Are you a wealthy listener that wants to fund Garrett's heist camp? You and
Tim's
friends
heist camp. The competing heist camp. The better heist camp.
Can you just support me on one goddamn thing? I know you want to do this. I've shown you the business plan. You get so excited when I read it to you.
Yeah. Anyway, KP from Tucson says, good one even for us old rockers. This is from 2016. Can you believe I'm 61?
What is the deal with that?
Loved this the first time I heard it a few years ago. Bought it to add to my collection of tunes I really like. 5 out of 5 stars. Can you believe it, Garrett? KP 61.
Yes, I absolutely can.
This is from Suzanne, spelled like Sue, like the Native Americans, Suzanne.
Like there's an X in there?
SIOUXZANNE.
I'm sorry I asked. Continue.
From 2012. Very sexy ballad. Applies to everyone who has been in love and lost. I can't imagine there is anyone who does relate to this song. 5 out of 5 stars. I think she meant does not.
There we go. I was going to say, you lost me at the end, Sue.
Yes. Brian Blanchard from 2014. It's a song I and my wife can relate to. We've set our ringtones to the reason on each other's contact. 5 out of 5 stars.
Oh, man. All right. What is his name?
Brian Blanchard.
Okay, Brian. I hope you're listening, and you probably are, based on recent numbers. It's statistically likely. But I need you to do something for me. Ideally, and I don't want to ask too much here, but if I had my choice, I'm going to need you guys to get a divorce. Because that's just disgusting. I might hate this song now, Tim.
Ooh,
that's
excellent.
disgusting. 2, if you refuse to separate, then I'm going to need a guarantee that you're not going to make kids. Because you guys are going to do a terrible job. And they're either going to be raised like a psychopath like yourselves, just a combination of the worst characteristics of both you and what I assume is your wife with an alliterative name. He's Robert, so she's probably like Roberta.
He's
something
Brian.
horrible.
His name is Brian.
I don't listen. Brian, what's a B name? Brian and Bethesda?
Holy crap.
No, we can't possibly go down that line of thinking, Tim. Just let it go. Anyway, if you've already had children, and this is going to sound a little extreme, so please take it in the spirit of generosity with which it's meant. You need to give up those kids. Give them to, I don't typically say this, give them to Child Protective Services. There are fire stations that you can leave them at.
Give them to us. We'll raise those children.
Stop offering to raise children with me. Stop it.
Stop not raising children with me.
I will not. Anyway, wow. Terrifying reviews, Tim.
Oh,
Great
I have
work.
one more.
God damn it.
One more. This is by Branka Petri. It's called
Funny
Love This
Branka.
Salt from 2014. I purchased this salt as it is unrefined and has a great taste. Granted, it is quite coarse and moist, but it is very easy to dry and then grind it into your coffee grinder. 5 out of 5 stars.
I have so many questions about that salt.
That's obviously not a review for this song. That's a review for salt. But this is coarse and moist salt that she's grinding in a coffee grinder. It is.
Yeah, you gotta salt that coffee, Tim.
Okay.
Nope, don't. Listeners, don't salt your coffee. But actually, listeners, if you know what the fuck this lady's talking about, please write in heypodmail@gmail.com. I don't think by its very nature salt can be moist.
Well, you think then it becomes, like salt water. Like it's, I think.
Sure.
Yeah, one of the key components of salt is its dryness, one would think.
Mm-hmm. And conversely, its solubility.
Yes.
So, very confusing. Listeners, write in. What's going on with that salt? Tim, who's this song for?
This is for people who have met the Lord, but have a hard time remembering that experience. So they would like a song to listen to in order to better remember that time they met the goddamn Lord.
Went to Wet and Wild together. That's me, and that's Jesus. That's not Jesus.
No, that's the Holy Spirit.
No, that's a Greek gentleman.
A swarthy Greek gentleman?
Are there any other kind, Tim? I don't think so. Anyway, final thoughts. What have we not said about this angsty, potentially problematic, and by that I do mean murderous, but hopefully simply just that weird Rube Goldbergian thing instead? What have we not said about this song?
Nothing.
Yep, that's fair. So I'm going to ask it. We've been all the way through it, Tim. Have you tempered a bit in your review? Do you hate this song?
I think I hate the song. If you watch the music video on mute, that's very important. Kind of like the music video. I'm okay with it.
Interesting. That is a plot twist. I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
I also got distracted for a moment thinking, do you think that there's a product out there called Hoobasalt? And that's how she ended up reviewing Hoobastank.
Maybe stank salt.
Let's hope not. But it is moist, so maybe. Anyway, sorry, not to get off topic. Listeners, write in. Yes. Do you use Hoobasalt?
What about you, though? Do you hate this song? Ignoring the music video? Prince rules?
I don't like your rules. Also, even without that music video, of course I don't hate that song. Keep busting.
Keeping in mind that I have every Hoobastank album purchased and ready to go if you like this music.
You didn't ask me, do I like it? You asked, do I hate it?
yes, I will take not hating as an endorsement.
No, Tim, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. You're not going to bully me into it this week, as much as I love giving in to peer pressure, and God knows I do, but I just won't get pushed into that deep, dark chasm of hate this week. It's not good. In fact, I don't like it, and I've listened to it maybe 45 times this week. Tim, I really know this song now.
Let me mention this. I asked Beck before we started recording. Beck also hates it.
Ooh, I was not expecting Beck peer pressure.
Yeah.
You know how much I respect his opinion.
Yep.
Except when it comes to omelets.
Yeah,
that guy has the grossest taste in omelets.
Yeah, well, I think it's the Scientology. No, this is true religion. True religion.
No, we don't even talk about it.
No, Garrett. Here's the thing. I fully endorse the religion of Scientology. All I'm saying is Scientology and omelets do not mix. It's the one thing Xenu didn't get right.
Well, you know what? Everybody's got a blind spot. Even gods. All right, Tim. Enough of this foolishness. I don't hate it. You do. You're just a real negative Nancy these days. I hope to never hear it again. But that brings us to listener mail. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to?
Well, I would like to go first, and I have an email, and then I also have something somebody DM'd me that is a question for you.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
I was excited at first, and now I'm kind of not, once I processed what you're telling me.
Anyway, Angel, aka Ocho, says, "Hi, Gimothy and Tirret. I was reading about how the Golden State Killer was found by tracing back DNA from 23andMe. Have you considered that this is what will finally trace Tim back to the West Campus Strangler murders?" I have, so. Which is why I'm pleased to inform you that I went inside your house. This is where it gets troubling. Through the wrecking ball-sized hole in the side to gather some Tim DNA. I submitted it on your behalf, and now we play the waiting game with the forensics team. I will update you once the results are in, but I think once the SWAT team raids your house, you will know already. Now, Angel, aka Ocho, I don't want to get gross here, but I don't leave DNA at the scene. What are you talking about?
Tim is like Gattaca.
Yeah.
He scrubs down every day.
Yeah.
In fact, he wears false fingerprints and fingernails of other people's DNA just to throw people off the scent. It is weird.
Yes. Oh, here's the thing, though. All that hair and fingernails that I'm wearing, all Garrett's. Sorry, I threw
I wasn't
hair
going to mention that part.
Yeah.
Listen, Tim, I get a lot of questions in my DMs about you and our friendship, working relationship, as I like to put it. When you say stuff like that, and it's true, does Tim wear my hair? Yes. Where does he get it? I don't know.
The drain. I clean it, and
damn.
Yeah,
dude.
I take it. There's a salon that blow dries it and styles it.
Oh my God. Anyway, when you tell people those fine details, it's hard to justify our friendship.
Oh yeah.
I'm just telling you. I'm not asking you to do anything different because I know how it ends, but just know that and maybe think about what you do and don't share.
P.S. All seriousness, I was never really a podcast person, but stumbled across Why I Hate This Album during quarantine. Your silly little conversations reminded me a lot of my best friend, and it really helped me during a time when I couldn't see anybody. So thanks for all you guys do. When I really need a laugh, it's nice to know I got a podcast that will do the trick. PPS, you guys should do Memories by Maroon 5. It's just awful. Happy Sunday, Ocho.
You know, I appreciate the compliment. Glad we were able to make you laugh once in a while. Now, silly little conversations. We put hours of work into this. That is demeaning.
Yeah. So thank you. Fuck you. You know, you get it.
Yeah, you've heard the show.
Yeah.
You heard the show. Highest praise.
Sure. Now, I have one quick question for you.
Sure.
From Spooky Jim Christmas. Sounds made up. I'm formally requesting a school-appropriate senior quote application from both Tim and Garrett. Please deliver these quotes promptly at your convenience to these DMs. Now, I suggested please rate, review, and subscribe.
That's a good one.
That's funny. Or
I think it's accurate.
Yes.
Now, Tim, I would say every week. Now, maybe I shouldn't say, but if the shortest route, that is to say least amount of effort on my part, would be to say, you read quotes by me every goddamn week.
Yep, I suggested this as well. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
May I suggest, don't think you're going to sucker me into feeling bad for you, you stupid dummy. That's fun.
That's a really good quote, and that was definitely at you.
Yeah, it was.
I hope it was about that ear infection.
Oh, goddamn. That was horrible. I had a horrific ear infection.
Tim couldn't chew because of an ear infection.
I couldn't
figure that anatomy out.
I couldn't open my mouth wide enough to get food in my head.
Due to the excessive swelling and pus.
Yes.
Oh, funny stuff. Also, why were we eating at Fuddruckers?
Well, I don't need to say that part.
You admit to absconding with my hair to a local barber shop that will blow dry it and turn it into various bodily wigs for you. Merkins, if you will. Not just pubic wigs, but not.
Yeah.
Come on down to Tim's Unconventional Pubic Wig Emporium. That's Tim's Unconventional Pubic Wig Emporium. Do you want a long wig around your genitals? Would you like to see a small afro on the head of your penis? We've got them all. Come on down to Tim's unorthodox, what did I say? Unconventional Genital Wig Emporium.
Gross.
Oh, great business idea. You can have that, Tim.
I don't want it. Garrett, did you also get an email and a DM for us?
Fucking hate you. Yes, I did. Tim, my email is from Bernie. Bernie titled his email, "You've tweaked my vocabulary." I don't know when this is from.
I think I might have read this.
I think you even responded, but we definitely didn't read it on the show, and it's a good one. So Bernie writes, longtime listener and emailer. Oh, that's interesting. Loved your cake episode this past week. That's not recent. Oh, that's like a year ago. Anyway, well, you responded. That's fair. Anyway, loved your cake episode this past week. I just wanted to let you know that your usual weekly banter wound up in my vocabulary. Now, Tim, you and I have seen this through many social circles that we've infected over time. You and I have a mildly unique way of speaking with, well, people may think it's for the show, but the same catchphrases and pausing and intonation, it's exactly how we are in real life. It's exhausting, but it is beginning to bleed into the listener community. And some of you might be viewers, not sure. Find the feed. But Bernie continues, my wife was watching a YouTube video where a comedy group was playing a game where they were connecting two movies in one. Example, Face Off, Office Space, using the off, etc. During one instance, somebody whispered a clue in one's ear. Wouldn't you know it, during that moment, I promptly whispered, "Fucked me," at random. My wife then looked at me and shouted, "Babe, this is not why I hate this album."
I like your voice for Patrick's wife.
Yeah,
is it Patrick?
You're welcome, Patrick. I don't know. No, Bernie. Patrick. Gonna need to tighten that head bandage. Anyway, Bernie continues, so thanks, Tim and Garrett. You not only questioned my music taste all these years, you're in my daily conversations. Keep it up. P.S. What are the chances you'll review the 1-2 Christian punch of Kanye West this year? Jesus is King / Jesus is Born. Well, one of those is not a Kanye album, for one thing.
Yes, also anyway. Low, apparently.
Yeah, quite. Best, Bernie. Great email, Bernie. Continue to quote us to your wife, much to her chagrin. And listeners, please do feel free to use our catchphrases and stories as your own. We don't mind.
Yes.
Tim's apparently doing bits every week. Now, my direct message this week, Tim, is not quite a direct message, more of a second email. But fuck you. So my second email is from John, and he titled it Office Depot. John writes, "Hi. In response to your recent question, I was in an Office Depot the week of 8/25/21. I needed an architectural scale ruler. Hope this helps." Good stuff.
You know, it's
apparently
really...
people are going to Office Depot.
Yeah, we did ask people to do that, and I don't know why.
Tough to say. But I think we just questioned the very idea that anyone would go inside of an Office Depot.
Maybe.
We may have posed that they were gateways to alternate dimensions.
I don't think we did that. I didn't, at least.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like any sort of thing you'd say, but one of us did. Anyway, great emails, Tim, for both of us. That brings us to music news of the weird. Tim, do you want to go first, or would you like me to?
Well, of course I would like to go first. I feel like I've earned it.
You have not.
Music news of the weird.
In Rolling Stones news, the Rolling Stones are dropping the song Brown Sugar from 1971 Sticky Fingers from their set list. I don't know if you've ever heard this song, Garrett, but this is especially notable. This is especially notable since it's their second most played song live at 1,136 times, second only to Jumpin' Jack Flash, a song that Garrett claims never to have heard and pretends he cannot hear when I play it for him. I don't understand.
I don't know what it is.
That is.
It's some sort of stupid joke where he plays nothing and he's like, "It's on right now." I don't.
Notably, Brown Sugar was a #1 hit with the Dutch in 1971 and was the 22nd best-selling song in the Dutch that year. Anywho, apparently people just figured out recently that the song graphically references slavery and rape and whipping slaves and such.
literally what the song's about.
Yes, and so I guess people are mad because of the upbeat nature or the apparently glib presentation, which might in and of itself be a commentary, but whatever.
It's also, though, about how much Mick Jagger likes to have sex with black women.
It is, yes.
Okay. Obviously, he does not...
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm not going to try to pull this thing apart. Go ahead, Tim. I'm sorry.
Anyway, so the Rolling Stones agreed just to stop playing it so Tom Taylor and Ian Brennan would stop writing things about it in the Chicago Tribune, and they just wouldn't have to deal with it anymore. They did not choose to quote Robert Christgau on the subject, who could have completely exonerated them simply with his quote that the song is a rocker so compelling that it discourages exegesis.
Does it?
No. Garrett, he's a crazy person.
I forgot. Sorry.
Okay.
Wow. This is certainly not the hill I care to die on. But on its surface, it's a bunch of like septuagenarian guys that, to your point, play this song
every
almost
night.
More than any other song. Mm-hmm. They're basically always playing it to hit those numbers. And they're not going to play it anymore. But it still exists, and everyone's heard it, and we all know it, but they won't play it.
Well, Keith Richards seems to think they will be playing it again soon, and seems to think they've got quite a long future ahead of them. He says that at the moment, I don't want to get into conflicts with all of this shit, but I'm hoping that we'll be able to resurrect the babe in her glory somewhere along the track. So maybe it will come back once everyone stops bitching about it.
Basically, Keith Richards is alluding to the conference call that he had 2 weeks ago with his management team, where they're like, listen, we're just going to announce that you're not going to play it anymore, and in like 6 months, you just start playing it again. No one will remember. Trust us. Oh, okay.
Garrett, do you have a second news story to deliver?
Well, it's my first, but...
We had this argument last time. God damn it. You're a cunt. Sorry.
Agree to disagree. Anyway, Tim, are you familiar with Boozy Badass?
Yes, maybe.
You are. You may know him in his previous form, Lil Boozy. I think we might have talked about him.
Super into this.
Man, I don't know if you're as into it as I am, because I've been tracking Lil Boozy for a few weeks, and it wasn't until he sprung back to my attention that I went back into the Wayback Machine. I looked at old notes, because Tim and I don't always read every news story we've collected for the week, and sometimes time passes and they're no longer relevant. Hell, they're barely relevant at the pace we get them out, so they fall by the wayside. But I thought, Boozy Badass. Where have I heard this gentleman before? So Tim, I've got all the music news of the weird on Mr. Boozy Badass. Prepare yourself. Boozy was arrested a couple of weeks back when he got into a fight on stage, and he and his entourage left after allegedly damaging venue property. This, of course, resulted in him being banned from the arena and him requesting a refund from the Atlanta Falcons for his season tickets, since he will not be allowed on the premises. Then, this week, the week we're recording at least, his ongoing feud with Lil Nas X heated back up, Tim, and I'm sure we're all very well aware. Lil Nas X began first by trolling Boozy, with whom he has a long-standing, well, to be fair, Tim, they've been beefing. Boozy and Nas X been beefing, and he began the beef again by claiming that he had a song coming out with Boozy Badass. Boozy didn't think that was so funny and replied, "Stop trolling me." Oh boy, sheesh. Trigger warning here, Tim. Just all the trigger warnings. Jeez, folks, these are not my words. In fact, we may bleep some of this. It's rough. But he responded on Twitter by saying, "Stop trolling me, LOL. You a whole bitch playing with a gangsta. Shank in my head. You can keep sucking dick and getting fucked in your ass. And peace. And hashtag you hate yourself. I would too if I was you. LOL, Nas X. If you hashtag commit suicide, has to be the first time that's done, you would do this world a huge favor. Goalpost hands. I don't know what else to call them. Nobody wants you here." Nas X replied to Boozy's screed, "As you would expect. I am truly saddened. I have never been so mortified in my life. I can't believe Disney Channel has yet to play Halloween Town this entire October." So Nas X is really funny. Yeah. But Tim, the story continues. In response to Mr. Boozy's remarks, there has been a swift negative response, as one would imagine. So he, in all his wisdom, chose to return to social media to clarify his earlier remarks. Boozy wrote recently. Tim, he's going to clear it all up. Big misunderstanding. Mr. Boozy writes, "If y'all think the whole world hate me, y'all trippin'. I have international love and respect for how I am and what I stand for. And never forget, there there's a ghetto in every city, state, country, etc. who rock with Boozy for real, hashtag the realest.
Okay.
Yikes. Now, I want to state at this time, I am terrified of Boozy Badass.
So he's one you don't want to fight.
No, Tim, Mr. Badass. I don't agree with your words or your actions, but I want you to know I'm not even worth your time, sir. Now, Tim, those are harsh words. And let me explain why. In the last 10 years, Boozy was indicted for murder, survived renal cancer, and was shot in the leg at a candlelight vigil.
For who? For him?
No. I'm terrified of this man. If that weren't enough, I did just a little more digging to understand who is Boozy? What are his values? Is this out of character? Is he having a bad week? What's going on? Well, Tim, it turns out in How in the God's Name Did Our Show Miss This News, Boozy posted a short video in May of 2020 that's now been deleted from Instagram where he spoke enthusiastically about paying an adult woman to perform oral sex on his son and nephew, who were 12 and 13 at the time, and allowing his minor son to watch pornography as he felt pornography was more, quote, appropriate for children than to watch, quote, cartoons with two men kissing. Now, Tim, that could be an exaggeration. It's just to make a, albeit terrible point, but I did a little more digging.
Okay.
And it turns out just before the show began, in 2017, Boozy posted a birthday post for his soon-to-be 14-year-old son. In that post, Boozy bragged that he had secured his son a, quote, bad bitch to perform fellatio on him for his birthday. In a post liked by 27,000 users that he later claimed was, quote, a joke after public backlash occurred. I am terrified of this man.
Yeah, probably.
Now,
if you're gonna fight him, go for the kidney, I guess. Don't shoot a place that's not a leg.
Yeah, won't stop him. Can't stop him. One tiny cherry on top of the Boozy sundae, Tim. I did just a tiny bit more digging. And I saw that Boozy was on IMDb. And I thought, what's this all about? And at first I thought I was looking at a documentary about Boozy, because God knows that man has dealt with a lot in his life. Certainly would be interesting to have it documented, but I realized it wasn't a documentary. There exists a biopic starring Lil Boozy about Lil Boozy playing himself and his life up to now. If all of that sounds too good to be true, I want to just tell you one small detail that really blew my mind. The title of the biopic is My Struggle.
Oh.
Now, Tim, a student of history,
is there a German version of this?
Those of you out there with a VPN, set it to Germany and Google Lil Boozy's biopic. And write in hatepodmail@gmail.com. What's that translate to? Tim, I didn't get it for like a day and a half. And I was doing something else and I was like, Mein Kampf! He titled his biopic Mein Kampf! Tim, what other news do you have about Lil Boozy?
Well, Garrett, in Hitler news. No, Garrett. In K-Way news, K-Way has shunned the reasonable and viable nickname given to him and approved by all eligible voting members of the Why I Hate This Album community and council, and instead chosen to legally change his name simply to Yay. What a bitch.
I didn't even catch that this week.
Yeah. In further Ye news, and God, I hate saying that more than I hate life itself, Ye has also gone completely insane and decided to wear a terrifying mask around Venice and in the airport and at a show, at a wedding he did, and he looks like some sort of bald and Balenciaga-adorned Michael Myers character. It's not a good look. Yes, Google this. Google Kanye West mask thing. He looks
I'm sure
like,
our listeners have seen it.
Sure, probably. It's terrifying. It looks kind of like a Blue Man Group guy's head. He looks
like a white Ninja Turtle, or possibly a poor rubber mask of the White Vision from you didn't see that show. Never mind.
No.
There's a White Vision now in Marvel.
I feel like it would fit in with a Slipknot mask.
I don't know. It feels more like a children's toy Halloween costume that's so cheap that it doesn't even resemble what it's supposed to be, and so it's just terrifying.
Oh, yes. Knockoff foreign version. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's supposed to be the giant white guy at the start of Prometheus.
Yes.
Actually, it just looks like that. That's what it looks like. It looks like the giant white guy at the start of Prometheus.
Yes.
There it is.
He is not taking his divorce well, is the point.
No. Now, Tim, you always called him, what was it?
K-Way.
I forget now. K-Way. Right. Now, that's not his name. You know that. That's a nickname.
Right.
So what's to say you couldn't now call him K-Yay?
How about Yay?
How about not? Also, that might get confusing because you often call cocaine yay.
Yes.
You're like, yeah, give me another ounce of that yay.
Okay, I don't.
You want to start sharing secrets? Let's start sharing some fucking secrets. You're on cocaine.
I'm not.
Tim's not on cocaine. That's slanderous. Anyway, let's keep going.
Yes. Do you have any more news?
Yeah, Tim, sure do. Couple more at you. In This Is Very Reasonable Behavior for a 79-Year-Old Man news, Paul McCartney will no longer be signing your garbage or posing for your terrible selfies. Paul said, quote, "It always struck me as a bit strange. What you usually got is a ropey photo with a poor backdrop and me looking a bit miserable. Let's chat. Let's exchange stories. Seems pretty goddamn reasonable to me, right?"
I don't think he can enforce that.
Well, no, but I also don't think anybody can force him to sign anything. The photo, sure, that's gonna suck. But I mean, God damn it, dude. That guy's been Paul McCartney for 60 years.
Hey, he made that decision. That man is a billionaire.
Yeah, it's a pretty good trade-off.
Sign my
You gotta
garbage.
imagine he could literally ride around on top of like a security team's shoulders like some sort of raw king, right?
Yeah, or just hire a sniper to be wherever he is and just kill anyone that comes for an autograph.
Or just shoot their phone out of their hand.
For that, yeah.
I wouldn't raise your phone, mate. Whatever, McCartney. Pose for the fuck. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Next one's going to be in your heart, mate.
I think Ringo Starr's actually had this policy for decades.
Tim, in almost related news, Ringo Starr was quick to point out that he allegedly declared that he would no longer answer fan mail or sign autographs all the way back in 2008, to which this podcast says, okay, Ringo, nobody cares.
Yeah, but Marge is going to be super disappointed.
Sure. Tim, any other news?
Sure, I have an update to a story that you read last Prepisode. Now, last time you had a bunch of songs from the Rolling Stones' best 500 songs of all time, the one that just came out in 2021, and compared it to the one that was, I think, in 2014. I think it's 2004.
Right, I had the wrong date.
Yeah, anyway, but you had a lot of songs that had fallen quite a bit, and so I would like to do the exact opposite and show the top, we'll say 8
Great, no,
climbers.
this is awesome. Let's do the exact same bit I did 2 weeks in a row. Sure. No, let's do that. Tim, come on, man.
Do you not want me to do it?
No, I of course want you to do it. Jesus Christ. We worked on this. How do we build a self-esteem? One brick at
Time.
Yes.
Is it time?
Pretty late.
It's time.
Pretty
Okay.
late. It's one brick
Anyway,
at a time.
Nothing But a G Thing by Dr. Dre went from 427th place to 29. Nothing
Jesus
But
Christ.
a G Thing is the 29th.
I love that song.
Is it the 29th best song you've ever heard?
No. Come on, guys.
Kiss.
107.
107?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's fair. Kiss by Prince, 461 to 85. That seems right.
Honestly, there better be higher Prince songs than that.
Oh, absolutely. Just Like Heaven by The Cure, 488 to 108.
Oh, I don't agree with that at all.
300 places higher? I think that makes sense.
300?
380, sorry.
Yeah, maybe 200. No, maybe 100. Anyway, go on.
That's fair. I Feel Love by Donna Summer, 411 to 52.
Ooh, I mean, I like that song quite a bit. I'm going to call it 81.
Okay. Tumblin' Dice by the Rolling Stones, 424 to 86. And I like that song. Actually, I really love that song. That's a good song.
Yeah, I don't know if it's top 100.
No,
it's top
probably
200.
not. That record's top 100.
Easy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fight the Power by Public Enemy, 322 to 2.
That's the second best song ever?
Yes, ever.
It's a great song. Top 100.
More Than a Feeling by Boston. You're going to be a huge fan of this. That went from 500 to 212.
That feels right.
Absolutely. It's definitely better than 500. One Nation Under a Groove by Funkadelic, 474 to 210.
Okay, that feels just right.
Yes. But anyway, so that's the opposite of what you did. It's not the same thing. It's the opposite. It's an inverse.
Fantastic riding my coattails. Love it.
Absolutely. Garrett, do you have a follow-up to a story I did or something, a bit that's similar to something something that I did?
Sadly, no, but I do have one more news story, and it's a quick one. In We Don't Know These People at All news, Tim, Eminem may have 3 collaborations with Ed Sheeran. But did you know it goes much beyond that? No. During a recent interview on BBC's Later with Jules Holland, the UK superstar revealed that he has a, quote, pen pal friendship with Eminem that involves sending cassette tapes back and forth. The troll-faced weasel said, quote, I collect cassettes, and I've got Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder, and they're quite difficult to find. The only person I know who collects the same is Eminem. He collects cassettes. That's his thing. He loves collecting. He is avid at going to find them. We have started having this, it's like a very cool pen pal thing. So it's a brief reminder that as much fun as we have on the show, and we do attempt to talk about the music, but like we don't know these people at all. Like the idea that Bruce and a anthropomorphized stack of ham sandwich hang out and talk music is just mind-boggling to me.
He also has COVID.
Who?
Ed Sheeran.
No, that should not say that. What's wrong with me? We will have to cut that. Irresponsible journalism at best.
Yes.
Tim, what else you got?
That's it. Somebody died at a Fish concert.
Oh, but did anybody hear it? Great, Tim. That brings us to almost the end. This is where we announce what album are we going to be listening to for an entire week before we come back here and talk about it. So, Tim, you have the honors. You drew the ping pong ball. What album are we going to be suffering through for the next week straight?
Well, Gary, we are going to go once again to the well of actual Christian music. We're going to do Jars of Clay's Jars of Clay.
Oh, God.
It's going to be great.
Now, Tim, my recollection. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
There's an 18-minute string section that we're going to listen to every time we listen to that album.
That's
allegedly.
The rule. And is the rule allegedly. Tim, to my knowledge, I don't know a single Jars of Clay song. I am ready to be wrong. What about you?
I don't either. I'm just hoping that it's as good as the DC Talk, or at least as racy as the DC Talk.
I hope it's not as racy. That was a lot of fan fiction about Christ.
People say I'm strange. Does that make me a stranger? That my best friend was born in a manger.
That is a song by them. Delivered in a borderline Jim Morrison-like delivery.
Yes.
Oh, God. That album came out in like 95, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not going to be post-grunge. It's not post yet.
Regular grunge.
Or, God, what if it's, like I said, I don't have any frame of reference. I assume it's rock to some degree, so the best analogy is going to be, it's probably not hair metal, right?
I don't know.
I mean, I guess it could sort of be that, like, alternative era of, like, REM, or...
Maybe they'll go for, like, an Aerosmith thing.
Jesus Christ, living in a movie.
Yes.
Holy Spirit, daddy little cutie. So making loaves and fishes for the people before he dies. He dies. Oh man, I could really write an entire Christ-themed Aerosmith song, but it's the end of the episode. So instead, we're going to ask folks, if you can, go out to wherever it is you listen to podcasts and rate us. Give us 5 stars. If your particular platform doesn't allow you to, then just go ahead and open the Apple Podcast app and do it there. That's all you have to do. If you got some time, though, we'd love to have a much lengthier written out review. You can feel free to make fun of us. You can say nice things about us, though that's rare. We like the deep cuts. Get weird, get insulting. If it's funny enough, we will read it here on a Prepisode during the listener mail segment. And I know some of you are viewers. Find the feed. The other thing you can do is write to us, hatepodmail@gmail.com, or you can go to hatepod.com and click on contact us in the upper left-hand corner. It does ask for an email. That's just so we can reply. We don't do anything with it. In fact, after we reply, we delete it. We don't. We just want to say thanks for writing, and here's an answer to your email. And we want to hear from you. For the love of God, we love these emails. As you can tell, they're great fodder for the show. And if you don't want to be featured on the show, or you're not writing in, but you want to write in and you're scared we'll feature on the show, just say, hey, don't put this on the show. Or the ever popular, use a fake name or a different name, or just avoid my name. Except for that one time where I said that guy's name like 8 times and I had to go back and mute it. Ugh, that was terrible. But we've learned from that. So just put it in the email. You can also reach out to us by going to Instagram. On Instagram, we're HatePod. On Twitter, we're Album HatePod. On Twitter, I'm G Harvey Tweets. Tim's on Instagram, but hits a private private account, so you can pretty much just forget it. We're on Facebook, and that is to say we have a Facebook account, but we lost the login, and we just don't care anymore, so don't waste your time. Instead, there's subreddits, there's a Discord server, and there's, listen, we're out there. We're on the internet. You want to reach out to us? We want to hear from you. You know how to do it, so just go ahead and do it. But that's going to pretty much do it for us this week for Why I Hate This Album. I have been one of your hosts, Garrett Harvey.
I have been your other host, Timothy P. Richardson, and on February 22nd, 2017, Garrett P. Harvey admitted, I invented Mad Cow.
Mike, no comment.
There's cowboys running through my dreams. Nothing's quite the way it seems. I joined the Navy, got kicked out in a week. My facial features aren't distinct. Try to find some meaning in these songs. The genius is a genius, got it wrong. No, it's a lobster murder sex thing. It's the bleaching of the rear. A full assault on both your ears. The riffs are too repetitive. The lyrics make no sense. All the songs are B-sides. The cover art's a mess. Listen to it for a week. Now that week has passed. It's the Why I Hate This Album podcast with Tim and Garrett.
I strangled them all, of course.